should be live. Let's check it out here. All right, hello everybody. No one is probably going to catch this live, so I'm just going to roll here with the half hour I have before I have to leave to work with a special message about having to leave to work. That's why I'm here today. Let me get more on camera here. Microphone, please. Oh, that's going to be trouble. Anyways, hi everybody. Today I'm here on camera to give you a quick lesson before I get to work. But it's kind of special in a way. I just decided to get online here and do this. I wanted to make a really recorded video because I don't say as much, and they're just better when they're edited, right? So that was the goal, and this has been ongoing. That's been the goal for at least a year, and I've really tried to focus on it in the last 2 weeks because, as you can see, there's hasn't been a lot of uploads to my channel lately, and I've been monitoring myself, and I don't really know what's going on, but it's just I'm basically too lazy to do it. I procrastinate a lot, but it's crazy because I get up to go to work at this job, and it's corrupting my ability to focus on my job because all I can think about all day long is how much I don't want to be on this job doing construction, which is killing my ears. I've got to always scramble for ear protection, and people are looking at me like, "What's your problem? Why do you care so much about your ears?" And people don't get how important I think my hearing is. And then with the hammers and the nails and the sharp objects, and I'm the grunt picking up everything, and gladly doing my job and hauling things to the trash and getting tools and fetching things, and um in doing my share of tasks, but worried about crushing my hand at some point. Every day I'm just going in with the thought, like, number one, protect your hands no matter what. It's always on the back of my mind. It's really hard to just do this job every day. I can't stand it. And also the environment is not very good as far as building morale or anything like that. I find the work is there to help me feel accomplished, like I'm accomplishing something good, but the team spirit um, is it's a bad environment. It's toxic. So I really need to get out of there, and um, because I really need to be teaching guitar. But anyways, I want to get to this lesson before I got only 10 minutes to teach it. Um, what I'm saying is that since I'm not probably going to be tonight, thinking that I'm going to get home tonight and make this awesome recorded lesson. This what I'm going to show you today has been on my mind for 2 weeks. Um, I my By the way, if you keep on wondering, like, why is this guy always looking up? My monitor's up there, but my camera's down here where I'm looking now. Anyways, um, I need to. I'm gonna get home tonight and not make this lesson that I know I'm not gonna record. So because I felt like I'm probably gonna convince myself, I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos to relax and chill out from the drive, from everything, and then I'm gonna eat because I haven't eaten all day. And once I eat, I go, you know what? I'm gonna go to work early tomorrow. Let me just go to sleep, and I go to sleep. So, and man, when I get that feeling in my head, there's no stopping me. I put my head down and I'm out. Anyway, so I am here to show you then what I'm going to do here live today is basically what I'm down to on this channel. If this continues, here's the main message. I'm thinking now, I had a thought yesterday I didn't really want to have. Should I take this channel down? Should I keep this to myself and just become the better guitar player and get on with a band? Put my energy toward being in a band and not give my information out everywhere? Um, no, I don't think like that. I want to be. I think music is a gift, and I like to. I feel like that would be super selfish to keep what I know to myself, and I want to see other people contribute. They can make people make awesome music, and why would I want to keep that from the world? So if I can help somebody express themselves and become the musician that they dreamed of, or reach their dream of musicianship of whatever way they do, then awesome. So that always charges me to keep going with these lessons. But the way I stall on this channel, it's embarrassing me now, and I don't want to continue with that. Plus, I want to revamp these old lessons where I do this, say a lot, and there's no time or I don't have the effort for me to do that. If there was enough demand on this channel, I could focus more on this channel and keep it going. But there has to be demand in order. I mean, there's supply if there's demand in the world. And so, how do you guys demand that I continue this channel and get my ass to work on this, focus on this all day long? Because that's usually what it takes to get these videos done properly. You see, for example, I bet if you guys tour guitar channels, you've probably seen David Walliman's channel. Walliman. Great, fun teacher. Of course, the masters, Rick Beato and Adam Neely, and countless other, Jens Larson, Klaus Levin. Who can I think of? My favorite new one, this guy, Signals Music Studio. What's his name? Jake. Really great. I suggest you just go compliment my lessons with his, or check out his channel. Those channels are just great channels that those videos, though, that you see take those people's dedication to do that. I would love to dedicate my time to this channel, but I can only do that if there's demand, meaning Patreon. You'd have to, you can demand my dedication to this channel by supporting me on Patreon. I started with a supporter, but I couldn't continue that year, so that supporter's gone. So I had one supporter to get the ball rolling, and now I'm back to no supporters. So it's really hard when you're at no supporters to get even one. So if you'd like to be the first supporter, get your name on the channel. I'll find some way to dedicate something to you. I don't know. I'm still not even familiar with exactly how to operate Patreon, how it all works. I'm good at this and not exactly at all this new tech stuff, which I'm getting into that old guy zone. We're lost in the VCR age, right? Anyways, here's a quick lesson in the last 15 minutes we have together here today. Enough rambling. If you could check out my Patreon channel, which probably won't even be linked in this video, but you can find it on other videos. If you could at least just look or something, I don't know. That would be great. If you check out what I show you today, and if it helps you become a better guitar player, then you can consider making this go on, because there's more from here. Let me show you how quick it is to be able to play all across your fretboard. Isn't that a cool one? Not only play all across your fretboard, but to kind of like get what you're doing and get music all in one teaching. How can that be done? Because you really just have to visualize the simplicity of what's going on. You have to map it out in concrete terms in your mind. And like math, once you know that 1 + 1 = 2, and it's really not going to change in most circumstances, except like quantum physics or something, then the world becomes a little easier to navigate and building other information on once you have a concrete foundation to start with, which was in your earliest years 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, so let's imagine a shape here. I'm going to draw you a shape here on the fretboard, on the graph paper, which is representing your fretboard, and this is the shape. So what does this all mean? And we're outside. I want to be. We'll put this on a fretboard if I get to it in a minute. But right now, let's imagine this shape of notes, and let's start with this note on the B string. It's the high E, the B, and the 3rd fret. So that would be Nice little musical selection of notes there, right? Well, it gets better from there. And also this. Is that pattern easy to remember? Is it easier to remember than you should know this scale and this scale? You know, a lot easier to remember this, right? Okay, keep that in your mind. Let's learn a second shape. Let's put a second shape on our fretboard here. And guess what that shape is going to be? It's going to be this exact shape again. And what's special about it is that we're going to put it adjacent to this shape. So they're not interlocking. These are somewhat, for now, we're going to think of these as two separate units. Okay? So while this set of strings was 3, 5, and 7, this one will be 8, 10, and 12. Kind of neat how those complement each other too. Cool. If you noticed, if your ear picked up on that, well, great. There's a reason for that, and we'll get to that at the end. So now we know two basic shapes, or two places on the fretboard, based on one simple shape, and that's this. Okay? So what we just played, 3 notes, adjacent strings. Pretty simple. After that, there's this little piece here. Let's put 2 notes. Well, here, let me show you this. I had a brain fart there, but this is where we wanted to go. Let's notice how many frets have we covered with just this stretch of notes. Let's give this one a 1. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we need 11, 12, right? To get all our 12 notes. If we get to 12, well, we should be back at the 1. This shape will start up again. So, wait a minute. That's too easy. Our whole fretboard can't be made up of this. Okay, there's another part to it, and let's imagine this shape right here. Yeah, pretty much that. The tritone, the devil's interval. Music happening. Quite dissonant. Horrible. Go back 100 years, you'd be in jail. Just kidding. But maybe, they called that the devil's interval at one time. That's your tritone, and there it is right there. And you've heard that, or maybe you're familiar that in the major scale there's a tritone interval. Well, there it is. Anyways, and that occurs where? In what chord? Oh, you said your dominant 7th chord. Okay, so in major scale, why would you want to learn the major scale? Because most of the music you're going to play is going to feature this scale. And when it doesn't, if you're still in something semi-popular, like some somewhat popular jazz, which jazz is popular, but we know it's not pop or rock popular, right? Okay, let's not go there. Anyways, jazz would be, or a jazzy rock tune, maybe in harmonic minor or melodic minor, which won't work with what I'm teaching you today. But those are rare occurrences. A couple Blue Oyster Cult songs come to mind in my repertoire of known songs. But anyways, there's that right there. Before I keep rambling on and waste all my time here. We got 10 minutes of together time. All right. So, with that, we've got 10, 11, and 12. So it stands to reason that this block right here should be actually this block. Cool, right? Okay. Now, let's single some things out here. We've basically accomplished a complete major scale across our fretboard on the first 2 strings by only having to learn one shape, where to link it up to itself, and then a little connector right here. Now let's expand that into some, let's look at the shape a little differently, and it's going to tie the whole fretboard together very, very easily. Do you know your pentatonic shape? That's going to come up in a second. Let's get to it. So the next way to look at this is to group some things here. We're going to create some groups of 4 here. So I'm going to draw right here. You can draw this for yourself for your own notes too. I'm going to draw a little kind of conjunction there. And I'm going to draw one right here on these 4 notes. And notice like this makes a shape. And if these shapes are looking super familiar to you right now, well, that's great. You know where I'm going probably. Let's say, where were we on our pattern? So that was... Sorry for the, I got a bad cable here. Hold on. Okay, hopefully that'll take care of that crackling. So there's that shape. This shape would be played out as... basically 4 fret shapes I'm sure you're all familiar with, and if you're not, we'll get your ass practicing. Okay, so we're going to take this one and single it out here. And basically that leaves us back to within this is this, as you see here, number 13, which is also 1 again. This is that. So this is actually connected to, this is that shape. So it looks, all you can see here is we basically are going to know these boxes, and it only leaves us 1 fret of like, well, I'm struggling for words here, but it's not a big deal. You just leaves you 1 fret here. That's pretty easy to know what's going on. So you know your whole fretboard. But anyways, let me show you how easy it is. Let's get familiar with I'm going to go back to this page, but I'm going to draw you a quick shape here that I'm sure you're all familiar with. But if you're a beginner, if you're a seasoned player, you know this. And hopefully, actually, this is what I hope, that you know this shape so well. You've been playing this, rocking out. You found out how this particular shape got you through a ton of Pink Floyd songs, solos, and you could be able to position this to play some Zeppelin and some Rush, all based on what? That minor pentatonic box, right? Does that suddenly jump out as familiar to you? But if that's all you know right now, and you're struggling, man, this is going to be the greatest lesson for you, because this is all you need to actually know to know your whole fretboard. It's secrets nobody told you. So I'll give that a run through for anyone who's still behind the game here. Okay, so more into the camera. 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4. Okay, that simple shape. We need to start populating our fretboard. So what we're going to do is build this. Where were we? Oh, minutes are ticking here. Well, maybe this will be a cliffhanger, and I'll have to come back tonight. I'll leave this as an incentive to come back tonight and make this into a video. Leave your comments below. If you got this far in the video, comment and say, hey, man, I watched your video, and when you said a comment, I was listening. And tell me that you want to see this in a real, concise, well-done video. Say, demand it. So I'll do it. Even without Patreon, I'll make one. But I need like some kind of incentive here. Anyways, so notice that on the bottom of our pentatonic, it's 1 4 1 4. So look at this: 1 4 1 4, 1 4 1 4, 1 4 1 4. Does that mean you have 3 pentatonic shapes built into your fretboard at any time you're playing a song in a major scale to use it in a guitar solo? That is a 100% yes, my friends. So let's create some pentatonic boxes here. Oh, yeah, I went too high. Story of my life. All right, so pentatonic right there. The implications of this are that if a pentatonic falls in line over the pentatonic scale in this particular section, that means the implication here is that you can use this pentatonic shape then all across the fretboard. I'm sure you know your pentatonic shapes up and down the fretboard. For those that don't, for those that do are going, oh my God, this guy's not going to sit here and draw out all the pentatonics. I don't got time for this. I'm clicking off this fucking video. Perhaps. I know that happens. I do it too. I really can't stand anything that rambles on, but unless it's got some pretty decent information for me. Okay, so, you know, these, okay, do you get it now? You know your pentatonic shape all across the fretboard, blah, 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 blah. Then we got this one right here. Basically, these 5 rows of notes create the pentatonic scale all across the fretboard. We're not going to draw that out, though. We could just to start populating our fretboard that way, but I'm going to show you some more. Pentatonic number 1, pentatonic number 2. Just basically draw one from where we group this 4 notes. And what you want to know about this pentatonic group here is this is the overlapping pentatonic group right here, and this is a single pentatonic right there floating there, and that creates your whole fretboard. And we're going to get all the last remaining. Basically, we have 5 notes now. We just need a couple more to populate our, just a couple notes on the top here to populate our scale. Anyways, so now we naturally have a little extra note in here since there's an overlap there, but that's in the scale, so we're going to say, hey, more the merrier. We get a scale note without having to learn anything, so there. I'm going to mark those out so they become clear about what's in the scale and what's not in the scale, okay? What we're talking about here. So pretty quickly here, you have populated your fretboard here. Almost the entire thing until it repeats up across the neck. Just that alone you could probably cover any good solo with, but you want to know the rest of it, here it is. All you have to do to populate the rest of the notes now is know how your pentatonic scales turn into their respective major scales. That's not really the way to word it right, but they each one populates. I'm trying to use words that aren't confusing here because it's really simple, but it just sounds confusing. Let me draw it for you because that would be a little less confusing, okay? To show you what I mean. You have a pentatonic box here. I'm going to draw and erase here. I think that's what we're going to do. For those that don't know this, if you've seen my videos before, then you already know this, but pentatonic box, basically, if you want to plug this into the major scale, in those 3 spots, you have to populate it. You have to turn 5 notes into, have to equal 7 notes. So what are we missing here? We're missing 2 notes are the missing notes. So we need 2 notes. We're going to give these scales a name. We're going to call them Aeolian. I'm going to move that here. I'm going to call one Phrygian, and I'm going to call one a Dorian, okay? And to make this quicker, I'm only going to use dots. But anyways, to populate in the Aeolian version, it doesn't matter these names. Don't worry if they start confusing you into like, wait, that's the name of a mode. Am I playing in modes? Like, don't even think about that right now. We just need to give them a name. There's a reason that this name works for this one. We don't even have to know that right now. Let's just give them a name to give them distinction. Sound cool? And that avoids confusion. That's where I would always get lost because I'm like, wait, modes? What are we talking about? But we don't even have to think that. So to populate this one, give it 2 notes. We need to hang in this box. We're going to hang our notes one on each side. Remember that shape that we just went over, the tritone shape? Well, guess where it is right there? Well, we already knew that because we had that laid out. How do we lay it out? Basically, we need this section right here, this to single out this section of the is what we're thinking of. We want to hang a note here, and we want to hang a note here. So you have, and then as is above, so is below, and right there I've got the complete Aeolian scale. Back down to its minor chord. Because it goes down to that note, what you played was a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, but you ended up on the sixth note, which is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, right? La. Duh, right? How am I teaching this and I don't even know that stuff? Anyways, so let's get to work here. Phrygian, pentatonic. Start out with a pentatonic. Boom, 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 boom. And how do we hang the notes? We already knew that the string was here. If we're in Phrygian, anytime we have the string with a box here, the box is up here. On these three notes, just hang the box to one side. The box, I mean 4 notes in a square. So this Aeolian is always a split and a split. Phrygian is together on this side and then together on this side. Dorian does the opposite. So simple geometry is easy to remember for me, and that's how I always remember, like, if I'm stuck, I just go to the geometry part of my mind and it goes, here's your answer. So Dorian had the square on the right side on the bottom, 2 strings, so it stands to reason that on the top it would be on the left side. And then as is above, so is below, here's your note. As is above, so is below, here's your note. There's your Phrygian scale. And your Dorian minor scale. Just played it so you could hear it. It's not in the on the key that we started with here when I was drawing it out here. Well, since I didn't draw it on a fretboard, I guess we weren't in any key, but I did start by saying put the first shape on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and there was a reason for that. I've got 1 minute over, so looks like this may be a cliffhanger, but at the end of the day, if we plug in our scale, then as we just went over, here's our Aeolian shape. We're going to go here and there. I'm going to use this one there and there. And then I would know, like when I'm jamming, it just pops in my mind. If I'm here and I want to suddenly go down to the bottom strings, I'm traveling down my famous Dorian road here. These are going to become roadways to you. Once you get so familiar with this, you're going to learn to travel up and travel down. This is going to become so second nature to you. You just needed an easy way for you to get this under your fingers, and here it is. Provided by Mind's Eye Visual Guitar Methods. Remember the name, remember my channel, recommend it, show it to other people, tell other people to subscribe, hop on over to Patreon, make it demand that I make more lessons by showing me the demand on Patreon. So, just by the rule of squares, I know that I have another square right here, which is the top of my Aeolian scale here, and I'm back to where I had started, an octave below. You can take that down that way to be an octave above. So, in essence, if I plug this into my fancy-dancy fretboard here, do I got a fretboard hanging out here? I probably don't. And that would be a real pain to draw. Ooh, look at me go. Okay? So, if I plug this into right here. Today, if you guys want to plug this into right here, your reward for watching this, your musical reward for watching this, is this. So here's your square right here. It's your magic square. Watch the other videos to know what the magic square is. Here's your root. So what note is that? Well, let's travel up here and travel up there. Hey, look, that's our G. We're in G major. This note, this box, corner of the box here, always tells you the parent key, the major scale, the do of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is right here in this box. So that would be, we're on G, so this is the key of G. So this will leave you with the ability to play in, go search out a backing track and see if all these notes will work. G, Ionian backing track. You can find these backing tracks across YouTube. G, Ionian. What do we got? G, A, B, C, D, E and F sharp Locrian, which you're probably not going to, don't use that one first because that's just not going to be anything happy for your ear until you're familiar with these ones. So remember to try an A Dorian backing track. That'll sound pretty cool. Melancholic, something might be pretty new for you. Try a B Phrygian backing track. This will work with. This will work with a C Lydian backing track. It will work with a D Dorian backing track, and it will work with an E A E O Lean backing track. You might say, how will it do that? Because it's really the choice of chords in the backing track that create these selective modes, which are all always based on these notes of the scale: the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7, right? It's your 1 note, your 2 note, your 3 note, your 4, your 5, 6, and 7. See if that maps out here. 1, 2, 3. 4 is always a half step away. There it is. 5, 6, and 7, which are not listed here, but populating this quick. I'll shut this off at 7:10, so we'll go to 7. We've got 5 minutes. Can I populate this board? Can I draw it faster than I can think it? No. I think this a lot faster while I'm playing, but anyways, you have your pattern of 3. So, we have that. And when I'm jamming, I know that I have a pentatonic box right here. If I find myself kind of moving down this, I mean, think about this. Where do you solo most once it's time to solo? The top 2 strings, right? So that's kind of like, this really helps you anchor like what you're doing. Like if you drew a blank on all this stuff down here, you still got all this playground, easy playground to just keep on going up and down on right here, which can get you through 8 bars of music if you're somewhat brand new, or when you're practicing these backing tracks. If you get stuck, just stay right here and you'll sound like a pro, or at least sound like you know what you're doing, which gives you that somewhat enhances your sound. So there's our pentatonic here, and our overlapping Dorian pentatonic is here. We're just going to plug that second note right in there. Here. I got a note there, got a note there, got a note there. There. I'm there. And there, and there. And if I'm at the end of Aeolian going, where can I go? I might jump up to that square that's sitting right here. And then know that I'm in that Dorian shape. Same here. I'm back in my can't escape the old playground, right? And some people think that when they're sort of afraid to learn this. I think some of the aversion comes from learning music theory and learning this stuff, because they think that once they if they make this thing really understandable, it'll just get boring and suddenly music won't be any fun anymore. But nothing could be farther from the truth. Once you have the ability to harness your good notes, and then the what you used to think were avoid notes are now under your fingertips, you can start experimenting with your avoid tones to really jazz up your tone and give you those obscure flavorings that you're hearing so intrigued by in other people's playings. I'll leave it at that. So just to make this clear, look at, we've got all our notes there. There's one there. There's some there. Here, we've got everything in between here and there is there, barring that one and that one. All right. And there. And everything else is just a repeat from there. So, pretty snazzy, huh? I hope you enjoyed your lesson today with your ability to get around your fretboard and play any backing track. I'll leave it up to you to play. I'll leave it up to you to sorry that wasn't on camera. Anyways, I'll leave everybody to their happy thoughts, and I hope you found this an awesome lesson that just totally taught you everything you need to know about guitar and playing in modes, and you just basically took off from there. If you think that's cool, check out my Patreon. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.